Coffee representing for Seanie B.
Seanie B sound.
Seanie B.
BBC Radio 1 Extra and its host Seanie B, Jamaica bound for many years, but stepping up their content gathering and freestyle shtick in 2014.
Seanie B. Them gyal wicked, them wicked, them wicked.
Who's still around? What's popping in the streets? I have ideas of things that I want to do before I get here, but generally, I always tell my team, just feel the natural mystics that the streets of Jamaica gives you. And I basically come here as a fan. So anything that I want to watch, I think that the audience will want to watch as well.
Such as Skilly Bang and Skeng, the emerging voices of a new wave of Jamaican street music who recently travelled to the UK for a series of gigs there. The trap sound jarring to some older heads back home, worried about the underperformance of dancehall internationally, but forwards for the youngsters in England, where Jamaican music wasn't long gaining acceptance and later influence with the arrival of the Windrush generation in the late 1940s and 50s.
I play in many different various clubs. Gunman Shift from Skeng is one of the biggest songs. It's females that are singing it as well. White, black, pink and yellow females that are singing it. But then on the flip, when Lena performed at an event called City Splash last year, you've got a family event in front of you. I went there with my family.
When you speak to me, I hear
I'm worried about the music because it has kind of been pushed to the back of the line when it comes to the other different music genres, especially with the rise of Afrobeats. The one thing that Caribbean music, and not just Jamaican music has, but Caribbean music is influence. You can go anywhere in the world, Anthony, and somebody are gonna say, Wagwan.
White blood, wagwan.
I'm drinking rum and Red Bull is out.
Seanie B with a bit of cultural swag himself, despite being born and bred in the UK. What's your story?
My story, I've just been playing this music. Obviously, my mother comes from Jamaica. My grandmother comes from Jamaica. They come from St. Andrew, Upper Tavern there. And that's my linkage to Jamaica. When I was younger, when I was 13, 14, I used to par amongst two youths that come from over here, two youths that came to the UK. One come from Greenwich Farm, one come from Jungle. So I know the real streets of Jamaica as such. The first time I ever come to Jamaica was in the year 2000, which surprises everybody because they believe some are born and bred over here.
But in Jamaica, skyrocketing levels of crime, raising questions about the content of so-called shotter and chopper songs. Not that gunman music is anything new. How does that translate in the UK? How do people respond to the lyrical content of a lot of what these young kids are coming up there with?
I think a lot of us have got older within this music. So with me getting older, I know that there's a responsibility that I have to carry because my son is 16 now. I'm no longer that 16-year-old that doesn't care. I am now that adult growing that 16-year-old, and I have to teach him a little bit better. That comes with age and with wisdom and growth. So we have to allow everybody to be able to grow. What we have to do is to make sure that we have a balance. So during the whole Black Lives Matter, George Floyd situation, and we really locked down. I really locked down the music on my show for about a year. I refused to play anything that was advocating any kind of violence because I was like, how could we be playing that and be saying Black Lives Matter at the same time when we're not looking at each other? And I spoke to many artists that asked me to premiere their songs on my show. I was like, you know what? Right now is not the time.
How does BBC treat with a lot of the songs, like a Skeng song?
They get clean.
Believe that it's all bleeped
out, cleaned out. Everything is always cleaned. I've got the option on my show, Anthony, to be able to play the P words, the raw words, because I do a very specialist show. But with knowing that I have probably one of the only national platforms for the music that comes from the Caribbean region, and most namely Jamaica, I'm like, nah, I don't want to put the music out there like that. I want to make sure that it's put out there in a manner that all can digest it. If you want to work out what the blanks are, then you work it out for yourself.
He didn't say it. Seanie B, a diasporic diplomat, but Skilly Bang looking right now like the one to watch in the UK.
I was with Skilly Bang in Manchester, and Skilly Bang was a backup singer. The crowd was the main artist for the night. He was the hype guy, just doing all the ad-libs. It was that crazy. I was on the stage, I witnessed it, and he demolished it for like 30 minutes or so. Skilly's on one of the biggest festivals in the UK this summer called Wireless, and I spoke to the guys personally, and there was like, when they announced Skilly Bang, Shensi and Popcorn, there was a different buzz that came towards the festival, because this is the first year that we're going to see 3 dancehall acts on a festival like this.
And you've been doing this for a long time. You've seen a lot of people, you've spoken to a lot of people, you've heard a lot of music. There's always been this Jamaican connection. But who is turning you on right now? Who really does it for you?
Anthony Miller, if it's one thing we learn about Jamaica, is when you ask a question like that, no comment. That I tell you, no comment. I rate all of the artists and they all give me strength. I give them back a strength. I just say thank you to each and every artist in Jamaica.
But it's the sound that people are responding to more along the lines of the, you know, this sort of positive, sort of post Rasta kind of thing, or is it more the dancehall chopper music kind of vibe, the trap hall?
Right.
What is it?
Right now it's really definitely more the dancehall kind of stuff. I think even if you look in America, you look in the UK, the sound that is really popping out the streets right now is that drill trap kind of sound.
Top shouters, hoodied up, dread down like a roster.
And Jamaica is adding its own flavour to what's going out on the streets. So a lot of the English youths really tap into the Intenses, the Skangs, the Iwaters, the Joshis, and all of these kind of kids. It's their age group, it's their generation right now.
Scores of artists featured on this trip alone. Busy schedule, but this guy's really into what he does.
It's just my love of the music, my love of the culture. I really just want to put a smile on my mum's face, my grand's face up in heaven as well.
And my party people in the house, are you ready for this?
Shawnee B.